Ocala.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. Will treat you right.
Yes, he will. He treats me right. He treats Robin right. He treats everybody right. And that's why we bring our cars to Sunrise Automotive with Matt Gibbs and Philip and everybody else over there. I only know a few of the stars of the show over there. I don't know all of the people in the extra. The rest of the cast.
Behind the scenes.
I don't know the rest of the cast. It's kind of like walking into a sitcom when I go over there.
Yeah, I feel like that too a lot of days.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing good, Larry.
So, there was 3 car stories in the news this morning. I know you don't like talking about self-driving cars, but that was one of the stories. I won't dwell on it. There was also a flying car story, and I just don't know what I did with it. But the one I thought you'd really have a good time with is called the Changi. The Twangy. Chuanqi. What do you think that's called? It's a Chinese car. The Chinese automaker planning to sell cars in America is catching flack over its flagship brand, Trumpchi. It's an awkward name, similarity to the president of the United States. A Trumpchi.
They're
going to sell cars just because it's named Trumpchi. The executives at the Guangzhou Automobile Group are concerned it might wind up doing the opposite in the United States, which is meaning good fortune, the Changui. Anyway, it's a little tiny car from China going to be sold in America. You will have it in your garage soon.
I bet I will.
Oh, now you do.
Well, I mean, it won't be in my garage at my house.
Oh, I don't mean in your house.
No, I gathered that when we were talking.
Okay. See, because if you had this car... Oh, I got to show you a picture of my son, by the way, from my son. It's very small. I mean, it's like a shoe. It's smaller than a shoe. It's really a small car.
Mother goose.
It's a 2-seater, I think it said. 2-seater.
And how many miles per gallon does it get, does it say?
No, it doesn't say.
If it gets great fuel economy, it'll probably be a lot in Europe.
Yeah. Well, it says it's being sold in America, so that's the whole thing of the story. It's a sedan, though, so maybe I'm wrong about the 2-seater. Maybe I'm confusing that with the flying car. I think that was the 2-seater. So my son was in Austin, Texas, and he rented a car there, and it was called a Car2Go car. And he took a picture of it. He said, "Look at this bad boy." He said, "If you love driving and you love shaking at 35 miles per hour, you'll love this car." He said it was shaking at 35 miles an hour.
Huh.
I wouldn't want to.
I would take it back and get me a non-shaking car.
Can you give me one that doesn't shake?
Can I get one that doesn't shake, please?
Yeah, it's a little tiny car. So have you had a whole lot of the new stuff showing up at your garage, not your home garage, but at Sunrise Automotive?
What do you mean, like... What do you mean?
Like every day there's something in the news about technology with cars, and I'm just wondering how many of them have broken down yet.
Well, they all break down.
See, that's my problem with the self-driving car. Isn't there going to be something... I mean, will it know to pull over when it gets a flat?
Don't know. I mean, the technology's getting out there. Here, I had an interesting... Okay, this is something we can all relate to because there's millions of them out there on the road. There was a customer. We got a phone call. Their truck is at a dealership, new car dealership, and they had to call some, I don't know if they called engineers in or whatever, to the dealership to look at this car. But my customers were sitting in the house, doing whatever inside the house, and they heard an explosion.
Oh my gosh!
And the guy described the explosion like a shotgun going off. And the vehicle was in their garage, and the airbag decided to deploy sitting in the garage.
No.
So the people from the the people from the manufacturer came and looked at the car, did this test on it, and I was called, and the truck, we got it yesterday afternoon. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but we have insurance people from not associated with the manufacturers, but from the auto insurance companies are going to come and sometime today, and we're going to go over this and try to determine of what caused the airbag to deploy.
Thank God somebody wasn't in the car.
Absolutely, that could have messed up somebody's day right there.
Yeah,
you know, or if they were driving down the road and a airbag, and it was the driver's side airbag. I mean, it was deployed.
Blew open, huh?
Just blew up.
Wow.
And then that's not supposed to happen.
No.
But it did, and we got to figure out why it happened. What caused that?
But you've never heard of it before.
I've never seen one. I've deployed airbags. I've seen them deployed in accidents, and I've also deployed them myself, because you can't mail an airbag because it's an explosive device. So when we had to send them back, when I worked for General Motors, let's say an airbag had a blemish or something, it was the material was coming apart, and we were replacing it under warranty. Well, back then when they first came out, we had to deploy them. We actually had a special tools and everything to deploy them, which was quite fun. And so we would deploy them, and then the dealer could mail them back to the manufacturer, and they were trying to figure out what was going on with them.
What do you think about this? There was an ad. I heard it. I think I've heard it on Dana's show. Dana's a syndicated show that we carry in the afternoon. Or maybe I heard it on Glenn Beck's show too. But anyway, they advertise like an insurance policy for mechanical repairs. Are they good?
They can be. If you go buy a new car or a used car, pretty much every dealership is selling insurance or a warranty, which is basically insurance. And some of the companies out there are really good, and some of the companies out there are really bad. So you really need to do your homework if you're going and if you're going to purchase an extended warranty or an insurance policy. Really do your homework and study. And you can always give us a call, because we deal with... That's
what I wanted you to tell me. So my car is a 2005. Would anybody sell me an insurance policy for my car? They would. Okay, but let's say I'm paying a premium every month.
Okay.
I mean, would I be smarter just to put that money in a jar in case my car broke down?
It depends. Look at it like this. Let's say you get your we're not going to look at a new car sale. We're going to look at a used car sale. Okay, so let's say it's time for us to go buy a newer used car. So we go to a good used dealership, and we're looking at vehicles, and let's say we find one that has, let's just say, 30,000 miles on it, and you can buy an extended warranty for that car, let's say for $2,800, and it covers this, and this. Now, I just want people to just take a moment and think about this. At 25,000 miles, and let's say this extended warranty is for the next 2 years and 30,000 miles. So you got 25,000 miles on it. You bought an extended warranty that's going to cover it for another 30,000 miles.
Right.
That's going to put you at 50,000 miles.
Right.
The benefit to an extended warranty is what we call the three majors. The engine, the powertrain, which is engine, transmission, and rear end. And in Florida, could be air conditioning, could be too. Air conditioning can be very costly.
Yeah.
But the chances of the engine, the transmission, the rear end, and the AC are very
I'm sorry.
Very low.
Really?
There's a low chance that you're going to have a major issue, but you spent $2,800 for that policy. But if your window motor goes out or something like that, that's not that expensive to fix. So, and it doesn't cover your maintenance. It doesn't cover anything that's a wear item. No tires, no brakes, no hoses, no belts, no this, no that, no. So really, really do your homework. If you're buying an extended warranty, give us a call. We deal with all kinds of extended warranties, and we can give you an idea of, that's a good company, or that's that's not such a great.
So thumbnail sketch, not to dwell on this subject, because I'm sure people have other questions, but is it smart? I mean, do regular insurance companies also sell this as a side product?
I know that some of the major insurance, like Allstate, Safe Farms, Nationwide,
so they do.
So they're getting more into it on their end.
So do you think those are more trustworthy than somebody doing it nothing but that?
I would have to say you need to look.
You don't know.
At there's the fine print stuff.
Yeah.
That's where you really need to look.
Any success stories from any customers that had bought one of these policies and brought you the car?
No, absolutely. I mean, we've had them to where, most of them are anywhere from $50 to $200 deductibles, and I do see a benefit. I have seen where a customer has paid $50 to do a $1,500 repair, and they paid they might have paid $2,500 to $3,000 for the policy, but they got half their money back in one issue.
Yeah, wow. Okay. If you have a question for Matt, we'd love to hear from you. The number is 622-9622. Remember, if your car needs repairs, Sunrise Automotive is at, let me give you the address. Okay, just ask Matt. 1800 Northwest 10th Street here in Ocala. But right now, Matt's here. So give him a call right now if you have a question. 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, plenty of sunshine and pleasant with low humidity, high 81 to 85. Mainly clear Tuesday night, lows in the mid to upper 50s inland, 64 along the coast. Wednesday, mostly sunny and warm, high 83 at the coast, 88 inland. Thursday, sunshine and rather hot, high in the upper 80s at the coast, 95 in a few inland spots. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
I'm Jan Marino from Palm Garden of Ocala, and I'd like to tell you about the Palm Garden Way. We promote individual care, of course, but we also encourage GEMS. That's going the extra mile, and these are thoughtful individual gifts that make each guest stay special. A gem could be a daily latte or a new book or something else that means a lot to our guest. To find out more about the Palm Garden Way, take a tour, located on the corner of 27th Avenue and 34th Street in Ocala.
The entire world watched. They watched each step down the rungs of that small ladder, one after another, and waited with great anticipation for that last step.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
At that moment, humanity saw the impossible become the possible. And today, the sky is not the limit. Achievement. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
WOCA.
19 minutes after 10 o'clock, 70 degrees. It's a beautiful day in Ocala, and Matt Gibbs is here from Sunrise Automotive and Crossroad Auto Sales. If you need a car, You can go to Crossroad Auto Sales. If you need a car fixed, go to Sunrise Automotive. I have been a customer of both. In fact, Robin just had her tires replaced. You do tires. A lot of people don't think of auto shops as a tire place, too.
Right.
So you guys sell tires also.
We do everything.
You do. Your commercial says you do.
We do.
That's how I know.
We do everything.
And it was very reasonable. I don't remember what Robin paid, and I shouldn't say anyway, but to me, I thought it was going to be way more than it was. So you guys really did her good. Plus, you fixed her brakes.
Yeah.
And she didn't even know she needed brakes.
Well, we didn't either until we did the tires, because then we got to check them.
Wow. Well, how bad were they?
Pretty bad.
What it said? She said that you what do you call it with the rotor, grounded or something?
Resurfaced.
Resurfaced. What does that mean? That it was worn out from?
Well, I have a lathe, and we call it's a brake lathe, and I can take rotors and drums, and I put them on a machine, and we actually cut the surface of the rotors and make them true again. And sometimes we can only cut so much, so we have to measure the thickness of the rotor, and it's stamped on there what the minimum thickness is. So if it goes below that thickness, then we have to replace them.
Wow. So what caused it to wear down? The fact that the brake shoes were worn down?
Well, yeah. I mean, what caused it is that, you got the one pedal, the long one that hits the gas, and then right next to it is this, like the rectangular pedal.
Uh-huh.
If she didn't use that so much, she wouldn't need to replace some brakes. But since she has to push on that pedal every once in a while and apply those brakes,
yeah, okay.
It wears them out, brother.
Okay, but my question was, if the brake shoes hadn't been worn out, in other words, is it metal on metal that causes that wear, or does it happen anyway?
No, it happens anyway.
Oh, it happens anyway. Okay.
Yeah. There's actually metal in the brake shoes.
I know we were talking about that. All right, Matt, you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yeah, hi, Matt. How you doing?
Good.
Say, I'm going to be babysitting for a car for a good friend of ours. They're going to Europe till probably to the end of the year. The car is garaged. How often should I go over there, start it up, and maybe take it for a ride?
Every day.
What is it? What kind of car is it? If you went over there if you went over there once a week, that's fine. If you went over there every 2 weeks, that's fine. But do this. Whenever you do it, go over and make sure it gets to operating temperature. Get it, let it, don't just crank it up, let it run for 5 minutes and shut it off. Let it run, let it lubricate everything, let it get to operating temperature. When that temperature gauge is halfway on the gauge, or, let it run. And if you can take it out for a little spin around the block, get the tires warmed up and move them around, that would be the best thing to do.
I was kind of like thinking maybe once a week, taking it for a 10, 15-mile drive, I got some shopping I could do and this, that, whatnot,
Yeah, absolutely. And if it's like the car we had in the shop last week, it could be quite fun. We had a 2015 GT500 in there, all decked out.
As far as the battery is concerned, how often should you be running the car? I mean, if you leave it sit too long, will the battery wear down?
Yeah, it definitely would go. It'll drain the battery for sure, because there's a lot of things inside these cars that need memory, like your clock and radio stations. All that stuff requires power. But if you're going to go over there once a week, start it up and drive it for 10, 15 miles, like you say, that'll just help keep everything boosted up and good to go.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Hey, that's a long time. Here now till the end of the year. Wonder why they're going to be gone so long. Go to Europe. That's a long time.
That's a big trip.
Have you ever been to Europe?
No, I've never been to Europe.
I haven't either, but I want to.
I went to Vegas and I went to Paris. When we were in Vegas.
Oh, you went to that Paris?
I went to Paris over there in Vegas. It was kind of like being in Europe.
Well, in a way, I went to Paris in Epcot. Was that kind
of? Oh yeah. I went to the Holy Land in Orlando.
How was that?
Yeah.
That's the way I thought I'd feel. So I'm glad you said that. Yeah. Saved me $50.
Yeah, I guess they don't make a whole lot of money there, because they had like cardboard figurines all over the park instead of having people like dressed up like you know, oh, there's Peter. he's a cardboard figure.
Why did Jesus change everybody's name? Why did he do that?
Because a name has meaning. So he apparently he was able.
What was Matthew's name before it became Matthew? Or was he always Matthew?
Yeah, I think he was always Matthew.
So his mother named him right.
Yeah, a gift from God, the tax collector.
So you didn't. So the whole thing gets how many stars? 1 out of 5. What do you give?
I'd say probably about a 2.5.
Really?
Yeah, because what was really cool was when you first go into the park, they had communion, and it was like you were there when at the Last Supper when Jesus was talking to all his disciples. Now they had real people performing.
So that was good. That part you liked.
That part was pretty cool. Was the communion part, and then the baptism was pretty cool. They were actually guests at the park that got baptized there. So
really,
that was pretty cool.
Did I tell you we went to see the movie called The Case for Christ?
Huh.
Yeah, Robin and I went to see it. To me, it was a good movie, but I'm thinking you have. Okay, it makes a case for Christ. It's an atheist who is a journalist who wants to prove that the resurrection never happened, and then he instead proves that it did happen in his own mind. But I'm thinking you have to be a Christian, really. If you're not a Christian, I don't think it's going to change anybody, you know? I don't know.
Right.
Maybe.
That might make an atheist give him a different perspective. But I haven't seen the movies, so.
Well, it gives a lot of. I know this is not about cars. Jesus didn't drive a car, did he?
Well, it does say in the scriptures that he was in one accord with his disciples, and I'm thinking Jesus was driving a Honda. They all got in the accord, and they were all together. But it says he got an answer for everything.
That is a great answer. That is awesome. Wow. Jesus was in a accord.
He was in one accord.
Yeah.
They didn't have 2 accords. They had 1 accord.
They just didn't have any gas stations yet. The Beverly Hillbillies hadn't been invented yet. Oh, my God. All right, so if you have a car problem, a car question, call up and ask it. 6'2". I don't have... You know, my car is good, thank God. But see, I'm always afraid that something's going to happen all of a sudden. Because here's what happened.
Yeah, that's the way it always happens.
Okay, the car I had before the car I have, I put how much money into it? $2,000 maybe? And then I hit a cow. And then I lost all that $2,000. It just was down the drain. It made me sick. That's why I keep listening to this ad for the insurance. And I keep thinking, I wonder if I should do that.
Well, when you hit the cow, the car that you were driving, it didn't have collision on it, right?
Right.
So, but now this car has collision on it.
Right.
So now if you hit another cow...
I know.
At least...
But before I hit the cow, the problems that cost me $2,000 had nothing to do with an accident.
Yeah, but stop and think about this. I mean, do you look at the $2,000 or do you look at the... I won't say an investment. I tell people a lot, don't buy cars for an investment. They're not a great investment.
Oh, I do not do that. And, don't worry about that. I do it so I can get from work to here.
But
I mean, from here, yeah, this is work.
But like when I'm selling a car, especially to a younger person, and they're looking at the payment, they look at the payment as the only thing that they got to pay to drive this car. But that's not true, because there's also an insurance payment.
Right.
There's a car payment.
Right.
There's a gas payment. There's a maintenance and service payment. It costs money to operate that car. So let's look at the whole picture and say, can I afford this car or can't I afford this car? But the money that you put into it, it wasn't wasted. It got you to work. It got you to the store. It got you to...
I know. Yeah, but it's the sudden shock.
Well,
I mean, you have been so good to us by saying to us, you pay half now and half later. You've been so good in that regard. So thank God for you. But, you know, all of a sudden you have, well, let's hope there are no repairs. But if you need some repairs, go to Sunrise Automotive at 1800 Northwest 10th Street. Give Matt a call, 690-1993. I do have some music I have to play here somewhere. Oh, here's your song. Here it comes. Here it comes. All right.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. Good thing I don't drive a bus. I would miss my stop every time. We'll be right back.
Over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. Will treat you right.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. A government budget sticking point may be getting unstuck as the president